This man was a streaming legend, famous for his skill in games and even more famous for raising millions for charity. And this is the moment he put his entire reputation on the line. In a $100,000 chess tournament, he got tangled in a web of lies that didn't just get him disqualified, it turned him into the internet's biggest joke. This is the story of the single match that triggered a professional crisis and why, to this day, nobody can stop laughing about it. Before the scandal, the name DrLupo really meant something in the streaming world. Benjamin Lupo was more than just a gamer. He was seen as a pillar of the community. He shot to fame during the Fortnite boom, often playing with giants like Ninja, and built a massive, loyal following. But his legacy wasn't just about headshots and victory royales. DrLupo was the charity guy. He became synonymous with St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, hosting 24-hour marathon streams that raised staggering amounts of money. He was a family man, a positive force, and someone who seemed to represent the best of what streaming could be. He was also a vocal critic of cheaters in games like Escape from Tarkov, building his brand on fairness and integrity. He had the respect of his peers and the trust of his audience. And that's what makes what happened next so shocking and, ultimately, so humiliating. He was about to fall from a monumental height, and the landing was going to be brutal. The stage for this disaster was PogChamps 6, a popular online chess tournament hosted by Chess.com in April 2025. PogChamps isn't for grandmasters. It's a high-profile event where streamers and online personalities compete for a $100,000 prize pool and, maybe more importantly, bragging rights. On April 30th, DrLupo sat down for his match. With a chess rating of around 650, he was firmly in the beginner category. A player at that level knows the basic rules, but their game is usually full of mistakes and a general lack of deep strategy. His opponent was Wolf Glick, also known as Wolfie VGC, a competitive Pokemon player, but a much stronger chess player. Wolfie's rating was over 1,300, a massive skill gap. To put that in perspective, the statistical chance of a 600-rated player beating a 1,300 is incredibly low. This was a classic David versus Goliath matchup, except David wasn't supposed to have a hidden weapon. The match started just like everyone expected. Early in the game, DrLupo made a catastrophic mistake. He blundered, leaving his queen, the most powerful piece on the board, completely unprotected. Wolfie captured it without a second thought. For a 650-rated player, losing your queen against a 1,300 is basically a death sentence. The game should have been over right there. But then, something weird happened. Instead of falling apart, DrLupo started playing with an unnatural, almost chilling precision. Move after move was flawless. He was finding complex tactical ideas that would be impressive for a player rated hundreds of points higher. For a guy who just gave away his queen, it seemed impossible. Viewers watching live immediately spotted something else: the physical tell. Clips began to surface showing DrLupo's eyes repeatedly darting to his left, away from the game and toward a second monitor. This wasn't just a quick glance, it was a repeated, rhythmic pattern. He'd look at the board, look away to his other screen, and then play a perfect move. The internet's collective eyebrow began to raise. Chess analysts were stunned, with some noting he was making over 20 consecutive engine-recommended moves. The reaction was instant and brutal. The official broadcast chat exploded with accusations. On Reddit, threads popped up analyzing the footage, syncing his eye movements with the impossibly perfect moves he was making. The community's verdict was swift. This was, as one user put it, the most obvious cheating ever. The accusation wasn't just a gut feeling. Chess websites have powerful analysis tools, and when DrLupo's game was run through them, the data was damning. After his initial blunder, his accuracy shot up to near perfection, a level of play totally inconsistent with his rating and his earlier moves. One Reddit user summed it up perfectly. Dude went from, "What's a horsey?" to "I can see 15 moves ahead in 2 minutes." At first, DrLupo tried to laugh it off, denying everything. On stream, he read comments accusing him and just brushed them aside, saying, "Didn't cheat, had a good game." But the evidence was just too overwhelming. The clips were going viral, and the pressure was building fast. This is where the story goes from a simple case of cheating to a masterclass in how to destroy your own reputation. DrLupo's first move was trying to control the narrative. He posted on X, formerly Twitter, that he was voluntarily withdrawing from the tournament to maintain competitive integrity. He was trying to frame it as his own noble decision. That story lasted for all of a few hours. Chess.com, the tournament organizer, released its own statement. It was a kill shot. They clarified that DrLupo had not withdrawn. He was removed for a fair play violation. They announced his account was closed, the corporate version of being thrown out of the club. Caught in a direct lie, DrLupo's story started to crumble. His next confession was only a partial one. He admitted he had the main tournament stream open on a second monitor and had seen move suggestions from the Twitch chat. He called it a F-cup and apologized, trying to frame it as an accident. But even that was against the rules, which forbid any kind of outside help. The community didn't buy it. The machine-like precision of his moves just didn't match the chaos of a typical Twitch chat. Finally, days later, the full confession came. He admitted he had panicked after blundering his queen and that he had repeatedly lied to everyone, the organizers, his opponent Wolfie, and his own audience. While chess experts concluded he was using a chess engine, his public admission focused on getting help and lying about it, calling his own actions ecking pathetic. Before we get into the aftermath and how all this turned DrLupo into a meme, if you're finding this story interesting, think about subscribing. We break down the biggest stories in the gaming world every week, and you won't want to miss what's next. So, why is everyone laughing? It isn't just about the cheating itself, it's about the sheer, almost comical incompetence of the whole affair. The sequence of events was a perfect storm for internet mockery. A player known for being anti-cheat cheats in the most obvious way imaginable, right after making a rookie mistake, and then gets caught in a series of escalating lies. The mockery was relentless. Other streamers publicly roasted him. The incident quickly became a viral meme, and his name became a verb for clumsy, blatant cheating. The story wasn't just about a streamer who broke the rules. It was about a respected figure who crumbled under pressure and chose to lie his way out, digging the hole deeper with every single post. So, did this actually ruin his career? It's complicated. He didn't vanish from the internet. He continued to stream and still has an audience. But his reputation was irrevocably damaged. The trust he had spent years building was shattered in just a few days. He could no longer claim the moral high ground. His brand, once built on integrity, was now permanently stained by the mark of a cheater who lied about it. In his confession, he talked about his personal baggage and a need for validation that drove him to cheat. He apologized for betraying the trust of his friends, family, and fans. But for many, the apology only came after every other excuse had been tried and exposed. At the end of the day, the story of DrLupo's downfall is a classic internet fable about hubris. A beloved figure, put on a pedestal, made a foolish mistake in a moment of weakness. But the real crime, the one the internet will never forget, wasn't the cheating itself. It was the cover-up, the desperate, transparent lies told to protect an image that was already cracking. It's a brutal lesson that a reputation built over a decade can be tarnished in a single afternoon. The internet may have a short memory for many things, but it has a perfect memory for hypocrisy. In the case of DrLupo, the man who hated cheaters became one, and in doing so, he ensured his biggest legacy might not be his charity work or his gaming skills, but a single, disastrous game of chess.